Alright guys, the first thing we're going to do is locate your battery. Your battery is up under the seat in the back. This is not the battery. So let's go in the back. Now let me stop playing around with Civvy. Alright guys, the first thing you need to do is disconnect your negative battery terminal. Now what you're going to do is take a 10mm deep 3/8 drive with a 3/8 drive ratchet. And you're going to loosen up. You don't have to take it off. Just loosen up this nut right here. Okay. Take your terminal. Take it off. And don't just leave it there. Because see what happens? If you leave it there, it'll snap back into place. And then you'll cause a short somewhere. So you want to take it off. And you want to make sure you tuck it down to the side. So it does not come back. Alright? We'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we do is take you a 10mm shallow 3/8 drive socket with your 3/8 drive ratchet. And what you're going to do is you're going to have this harness going down here that's going to this little bracket. Now you can take this off if you want, but you got to take it off anyway to put the new alternator on. So you got a 10mm bolt right there. You're going to take your socket on. You're going to take that bolt off. Then you're going to take it off by hand the rest of the way. And then, up here on the top of the alternator, you're going to have this rubber boot right here. Pop that boot up. And you can slide it back onto the harness. Like that. And then you're going to see a 10mm nut right there. Now, I can probably get it here. You probably might want to use an extension. But I can still get in here with this. And there we go. Take that nut off, and this little wire right here is going to come right off. So let's get both of those off, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got the nut off of there. So this wire will just pop right off here. Now pay attention to this. Like notice this wire. See it has 2 tabs sticking out right there? And the alternator will have holes in it, little slots on this plastic piece right there. So those will line right up in there just like that when we go to put it back. So take that off, and then this one is already off. Lean it to the side. Now, we got to disconnect this plug right here. Now what you want to do is go to the other side, and I'm going to show you a tab on this plug. Now you can't see the tab because of this boot right here. But I'm going to take this little, pop this little boot up. And you got good lighting in there? Mm-hmm. You got this little tab right there. You're going to squeeze that tab into the connector and then pick up on the whole plug. Let's see, watch how I move that in just like that. So you want to squeeze that in and pull that plug right up just like that. Alright, remember guys, very important, make sure you have that negative terminal off into the side, because if this wire right here, this big one, touch anything metal, you're going to short something out. Alright, let's push this to the side. And we'll be right back. Alright guys, for this step, you're going to need 2 sockets. A 12mm shallow 3/8 drive and a 14mm shallow 3/8 drive and your handy dandy 3/8 drive ratchet. Now this is also a good time guys if you have a cordless ratchet over Harbor Freight. This thing is like $99. This thing will help you out a lot on this job, especially reaching down to the bolts I'm about to show you. But I'm not going to do that right now for you. We'll go like this. Now, first you want to do is take your 12mm. Now, down here, you're going to have a bolt right, let me get light, right there.
Oh, okay.
Alright, that bolt, you just got to loosen up right now. And then this bolt up here is going to be the tension that's going to move the alternator. So first thing we're going to do is loosen up this bolt right here. So put your ratchet down in there. And you want to loosen it up. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of tight. Yeah, I'm going to loosen it up. Make sure it's nice and loose too, guys. Just go about a little bit. Okay, then you want to switch to your 14mm, and you want to loosen up this bolt right up here. This one right here. So get that. Now this one's going to be a little bit tighter. So oh man, that's tight. This is when you want a good 3/8 drive ratchet with some leverage on it. So let me get my other ratchet. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I switched over to my longer 3/8 drive ratchet, and you can see the difference in the length of these two. And definitely the longer one will give you a little bit more leverage. So now we get down here, and look at that. Yeah, buddy. Alright, let's get that one nice and loose, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing I do is take you a 12mm universal swivel socket with a 2-foot long 3/8 drive extension. You're going to hook them up. Now, I'm going to go down here, and here's the bolt we loosened up, the first one. Then we got to go up here to this one right here. This is the one we're going to be hooked up on. So, what we're going to do is go up here, hook up your 3/8 drive ratchet, and you're going to be loosening up that bolt. As you loosen up that bolt, the alternator is going to go down, and you're going to notice it because your belt's going to start getting really loose. So you want to keep on going down. Now when we get that out, I'll show you how it's working. And when it gets down enough, take that alternator, take that belt off. Push that down and take that belt. They could have made that adjustment a little bit better than this one. There we go. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're going to go back to our 3/8 drive ratchet with our 12mm shallow socket, and this bolt that we took off down here to loosen up, see down there? You're going to take that bolt completely out now. Keep on going and screw that bolt completely out till it comes out. Alright, let's get that bolt out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we almost got the bolt out. You can see it almost out. And to make this, when you get it loose enough, you can actually just take the alternator, pick it up just like that. Enough to get your hands right here and finish taking that bolt completely out. Alright, lower your alternator, put that bolt to the side. The next thing you want to do is switch over to your 14mm socket. Now this bolt right here, remember that one. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to keep on screwing that and take that one out. So let's take that one out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, you can see we got the bolt all the way out, and that's all you do is pull the bolt. It might hit up against these lines, but you can go right between the lines and take that bolt right out of there. Alright, the next thing you do guys, you see this little harness right here that we took off for the alternator? Now it's like it's in the way a little bit. So what you want to do is go over here, and instead of trying to unhook all this, you got a little tab right there. Just pull that tab out just a little bit, just like that, and pick up the whole thing. So that way you can pull your whole harness to the side just like that. Your alternator, wiggle your alternator. Now see what's going on here is that the alternator is getting, it's that little right between it, that bracket right there. The alternator's on that side and it's on this side. So what you're doing is wiggling it and bringing it out that way at the same time. Yeah, you gotta keep on going. Keep on going. just so close. Okay. Got it like that. Now, you got a ways of taking this out. Because this line is in the way, you can either try to move it this way and get it out the way, or this way. So I'm going to try this way. Get this out of the way. And try to pick this thing up out of here. It sucks. It just sucks. Dang it, this thing sucks, man. Alright, we ain't gonna stop recording. I ain't gonna punk out on this thing. Dang it, man, I almost had it out of there. Okay, let's try this way.
Well, that should be a lesson.
Yeah, now you know.
Move the line up the other way.
I ain't got it out yet, so yeah, so
There. Turn it.
you know, it's easy to say that's mess. Alright, guys. There we go. Alright, now let's wait till Fisher Auto Parts get here so we can get the new one. Alright? We'll be right back. Alright, guys, you know what? While we're waiting, let me show you this adjuster right here. Here's your alternator adjustment. Now, if you notice, the hole on this is more towards this side than it is this side. So when you bolt this back up, that hole has to be towards the bottom, facing towards the bottom. And what happens is, on the other side of this, you see a slot. See the slot on this bracket? So, it goes just like that. The bolt goes... The bolt goes through here, into the slot, and come out through this side, and screws into the alternator. So, we're going to put it in like this. Actually, I'm going to let this down some. As we tighten up this bolt, this is the bolt we use on that swivel. When we tighten up that bolt, it's going to bring that alternator back up. We tighten up on the belt, and then we lock this bolt into place. Alright, so that's how that adjuster works. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to unscrew this a little bit more, so I can see it can go down a little bit more. Makes it easier to get that belt off just a little bit. Alright, let's get that done. We'll be right back. Alright guys, here we go. We got our brand new alternator. Now guys, check this out. You see this nut over here? Well, actually this is like a sleeve. Now, the other bolt, the big bolt, goes through here and tightens up going into that sleeve. Once it gets to a point where it's tight, it's going to pull this sleeve in this way. Right now it's flush, but it will pull that sleeve out and make it tight up against this right here, that bracket right there. So if you're getting a new alternator, that should be already flush like there. But if not, what you're going to have to do is take you like a 1/4" drive extension, about 6 inches long, put it in between here, then put it up against there, a socket on it, like a 14mm socket, and knock that piece back down flush. If you don't knock it down flush, if it's sticking out, you will not be able to get that alternator on. Alright, so having said that, let's bring our alternator. Now we know it's this way. Oops, that was nice and easy. Alright, now what we're going to do is flip it until the opening right there is going to go. Make sure these wires are out of the way. Yeah, that's out of the way. And then it's going to fit right between there. Get your long bolt. This one's out of the way. Get your long bolt. You can see it good over here.
I got it.
Don't tell me where you can see it over here.
Don't tell me where I can see it best.
Alright. Get the bolt going through. Move that opening around. Okay, just like that. Then you'll be picking your alternator up with your left hand like this to move it up and down until you can get that bolt in and start it by hand. And once you get it started by hand, what you're going to do is take your 14 millimeter with your 3/8 drive ratchet. You're not going to tighten this up, but you are going to bring that bolt all the way in until it just gets right up close to it. Alright, let's bring that in and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we brought that bolt in, and as you can see, I do not have that bolt tight. There's still space between there, because I want to be able to move that alternator up and down. Now we're going to hook up our tensioner. I already told you how it went. You want to make sure the hole, see right now, that hole is upward. You can see that, Tiffy?
Yes.
So we got to flip that bracket to make sure it's down like that. Then, matter of fact, let's bring our hole, let's pick our alternator all the way up here. And you got to get that, put that bolt through the hole, and then it's going to go through that slot like I told you, and then it's going to screw into the alternator. And right now I got it going in the alternator right now, and you can see how it slides up and down. Now what I'm going to do now is take my hand, I'm going to bring this bolt all the way in, not tighten up, but just as much as I can by hand, and then we're going to get ready to put the belt on. Alright, let's get that done, we'll be right back. Alright guys, alright, I tightened it up as much as I can by hand. Now, once I get it tightened up, you can see your alternator is still going to move back and forth like this. That's cool. So now, you let the alternator rest down. You want to now put your belt on. You want to make sure all the grooves are lined up. It's going to go to harmonic balancer, the AC compressor, and up to the alternator. And you want to make sure all of them are lined, all grooves are lined up. Because if not, it's going to mess this belt right up. That is perfect. Everything is great. The next thing you want to do, guys, is now take your 14 millimeter shallow, and then you want to go to this bolt right here. You're not going to tighten it up. We're just going to bring that bolt in just a little bit more. Just till there's barely a little tension. Good. Next thing we do, go switch over to your 12 millimeter swivel socket, your 2-foot long 3/8 drive extension, and your 3/8 drive ratchet. And you're going to go to tightening. Now, your tensioner bolt over here, this top one right here. You're going to hook that on. And then, you're going to be tightening that up. Now, let's switch sides. So we can show you over here. Now, as I tighten up this bolt, it's going to go into that adjuster. It's going to tighten up an adjuster, and it's going to pick that alternator up. Now, watch the alternator. See the alternator being picked up. Now you want to go till your belt is nice and tight. This is probably about they say about a 1/2 inch deflection. So pushing it down about a 1/2 inch. If it's too loose, it will squeal. So you want to make sure it's not too loose. All right. Just a little bit more. And stop. Your belt is now tight. Now, what you're going to do is switch over to your 12 millimeter shallow, and then your 14 millimeter shallow. You're going to tighten up this bolt now. And when you tighten it up, guys, you're going to tighten up until it stops, and then a little bit more. Don't over tighten it because it's screwing into this. Alternator is aluminum. You will strip those threads out, and you don't want to do that. So let's tighten up that one, and then we're going to switch over and tighten up the 14 millimeter. Alright, let's get that done, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, and stop. Now this one, you're going to feel a little tension at first, and a slight low tension, but you got to keep on tightening a little bit because then you're pulling that sleeve in. Then you do that, that's going to be great. Done. Now, next thing we're going to do, guys, let's go over here. This little clip right here, it's going to have this little slot right over here. Just hook that onto there. That's into place. Next thing we'll do, go over here to the top. Actually, let's plug this up right now. Actually, no, let's get that out of the way. I should have took that 10 millimeter nut off. So we did that. Let's take that off. And remember those two slots, those on the two tabs on that harness and that wire. So just hook it up. They'll line up with those two slots right there. Put that on, the 10 millimeter nut on, and let's get our 10 millimeter. I'm gonna get my 10 millimeter deep 3H drive, and you're gonna tighten that down till it stops. Let me get this down. And guys, this one, do not over tighten it, or you will mess this alternator up if you over tighten this. I'm trying to get over here and tighten up for you. Now, look, watch my hand over here, guys. I'm not even using a ratchet like this. I'm using one finger. Use two if you want. And that's all you want to do is go till it stops by two fingers, and then a little bit more. That's it. You will mess that alternator up if you're going to over tighten that. Take your rubber boot and definitely put this on. This is a protector. Bring that over. Have it covered up. Now to plug it back up. This is your plug. Remember that? You can put that back on there now. So just line it up and you put it down till it clicks. Perfect. Last but not least, we got our bracket over here that goes right here that had our 10 millimeter bolt in it. Started off by a couple threads so we don't get it cross threaded, and let's get that tightened up. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're over back at the battery. Just wipe that off a little bit. If you want to get a little Brillo or something, a scouring pad, clean that up. Pick up your negative terminal. As a matter of fact, guys, I do not like the way that all that corrosion look on the inside of there. When that, believe it or not, guys, that corrosion will stop a connection between the battery and the terminal. So we need to clean that up. So let's get a little wire brush and let's clean that up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, time to open up my Christmas present from last year. Open this up. Ooh, look at that, guys. Wait a minute, guys. It ain't done. Look at that, guys. All right, check it out, guys. Now, what we have here is a little, see if we got to do this for Christmas and all. This thing has been great. So what we're gonna do is let's pull this one out right here. Now what I can do is either it's got a little handle right here. I can hook up the handle. I can squeeze that in like that, clean that up. Or what I like about this, I can hook it up to my cordless driver. Oh man, look at that, guys. So let's clean that up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that nice and cleaned up. Let's put our terminal down there. Make sure it's nice and snug and pushed down. Then you're going to grab your 10mm deep 3/8 drive with your 3/8 drive ratchet, and you're just going to tighten up on the nut. Now don't go super crazy on this, guys, and break this. As I told you, always just till it stops and a little bit more. That's it. That is perfect. Alright guys, let's get ready to start this up and check out the charging system to make sure everything is good. We'll be right back. Alright guys, yeah, you know what that is. That's the Ortel. That's the Ortel. AL539, yeah, buddy B. Alright, check it out guys. What we're going to do, let's pick this up. Let's connect our terminals. Alright, it's going to come on. Now what we're going to do guys is we're going to go over here to the battery test. Now you can go to multimeter if you want, but nah. Over here to battery test. Alright, battery showing 12.37 volts, which is pretty good. Now what we're going to do is start this up. And if the alternator is good, this thing should be putting out 13.5 up to 15 volts, depending on how depleted the battery is. So let's go over here. Gotta charge it, gotta jump it. Oh yeah, dang it. Alright guys, let's get us a jumper and jump this. We'll be right back. Alright guys, I got the jumper cable hooked up to it. I don't got the truck running. I want to see if it starts it up just by jumping it by itself. Alright, there we go. Let's disconnect the jumpers, and as you can see, it's charging at 14, almost 14 and a half, whatever, 14 volts. So that means the alternator is good. Now what's got to happen now? This car has to run for a minimum of about a half hour. It would be good if the customer take it for a drive so it can charge that battery back up. But right now the alternator is charging. If it wasn't charging, your voltage would be about 12 volts, maybe less. Alright, get that done, we'll be right back.